Today's lesson is going to be the patterns, so which comes next, mixed along with the word problems. And we're combining them so that we can have a day of money and a day of time practice every single week for our instruction. Excuse me. Okay, so our code for today is NRYLK. So you need the code NRYLK. And then you need to go to nearpod.com or enter the Nearpod app to put in the code NRYLK and hit join. Okay, the first thing we have to do as always is put in our name so I get to see all of your hard work on my end. When you're done, hit join session. Okay, so we have one addition word problem and one subtraction word problem. Okay, so this week we talked about stress. And stress can make us feel all different ways. One thing that might make us feel stressed is when I have you do a test with me on the computer. It might make you feel stressed. So that's why I try to give you a reward after, is to help you manage your stress. So it says fill in the blanks and solve each word problem. In January, I took blank tests. Can we count them? Remember, first we label, then we count. 1, 2, 3. Now let's count to check. 1, 2, 3. In January, I took 3 tests. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. How about in February? In February, I took blank tests. Let's label. 1, 2, 3, 4. In February, I took 4 tests. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to show our work. 3 plus 4. Okay, so I use markers. So I have a lot of markers here. In one hand, I have 3 markers. 1, I should probably count them. 1, 2, 3. In my other hand, I have 4 markers. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I put them together, and then I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. When you're done answering, hit submit. You have to have 3 plus 4 equals 7. This line means equals. Can you say equals? It says how many tests did I take altogether? 7 altogether. Hit submit. Okay. Our first one was an addition problem. Now we have a subtraction problem. Okay. Last week, my friend talked to blank teachers. So you can talk to your teachers if something in school is stressing you out. Let's label and count. 1, 2. We labeled. Now let's count. 1, 2. So in the first row last week, you talked to 2. This week, my friend talked to blank teacher. Let's label. 1. How many are there? 1. 2 minus 1. Okay. Here I have 2 markers. If I take 1 away, how many is left? Just 1. So 2 minus 1 equals 1. Now, another way to look at that is if I erase my labels, I could cross them out. Ready? I'm going to go where the spot that has 2, 1, 2, and I'm going to cross 1 out. and we're going to count how many are left. So we had 2, we took 1 away, and now how many is left? Just 1. There's another way to get our answer. So when you're done writing, 2 minus 1 equals 1. Hit submit. And now we're to our patterns. Okay, which comes next? Look at each symbol pattern and circle the symbol that comes next. You know I like to label them because then it makes it easier for me to find my pattern. Okay, so this is feelings. We talked about how stress can make us feel sad, but we really want to feel happy. So feelings is going to be number 1. This is not the same. Look, it's feelings again, so I need to label it 1. Not the same. Is this the same? Yes, so we're going to put 1. Not the same? The same, we put 1. Now we go back to the beginning. Okay? Now, this, he's feeling stressed. So stress is number 2. Now we have to be a detective and find all the stresses. Does this say stress? Yes. Does this show stress? Yes. Now, we have to listen for the pattern and see what comes next. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 comes next. I circled 2. Can you? Let's check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Great job. When you're done circling the last 2, hit submit. Okay, we talked about how everyone feels stressed. Okay? So, the first symbol is everyone. We're labeling it with a number 1 because it comes first. Okay? So all of my everyones, I found another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, all have to have a 1. I put 1 for all the everyones. Can you do the same? Okay. Now, we might feel stress and talk about some ways to deal with it. Some ways that we talked about dealing with it included talking to someone, right? We said you can talk to a parent or a school counselor. So there are some ways to handle our stress. I labeled some with a number 2 because it comes next. And look, I found another one that's the same, so I'll label it the same. Okay, after I get to my double line, that's when I have to decide what comes next. So here's the hard part, listening to our pattern. Our pattern today is 1, 1, 2. Can you say 1, 1, 2? Ready? We're going to keep saying it to see what comes next. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay, I circled my 2. Let's check it. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. That makes sense. When you're done, hit submit. Okay, so here we have a school counselor. This is our first picture. Okay, now you need to be a detective and put a 1 for all the times you see school counselor. Here's one, school counselor. Let's put a 1. I put a 1, can you? Not this one. Oh, look, there it is again, a school counselor. So after you talk to someone about being stressed, hopefully they make you feel better. Okay? So here we have someone that feels good. They don't feel stressed anymore. They feel good. I labeled it 2 because after 1 comes 2. Here's another one that's the same. So I want you to label all the ones that are the same. Okay, now let's listen to our pattern. Our pattern is 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. Ready? See if you could help me to see what comes next. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. Let's check it. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. Excellent job. Now hit submit. Okay, I think we have 2 left. So, some ways of dealing with stress are sleeping. It might help you to get a good night's rest if you're stressed. So, sleeping is going to be our number 1. I'm going to label all my sleepings number 1. Can you try to do the same thing? Okay. So in the next one, we have someone thinking about their feelings. Maybe they're sad or happy. So feelings is going to be a 2. And I'm going to label all the feelings with the number 2. Okay. Now let's look at our pattern. Our pattern goes 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. When our pattern ends, it starts again. It starts again with a 1. So every time you have a 2, a 1 is going to come next. Ready? 1, 1, 2. Can you say it with me? 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. It would be 1. Okay, because after a 2 always comes a 1. So I'm going to circle 1, and I hope you can too. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay, when you're done, hit submit. Okay, our last one is always the hardest one. So one of the ways that stress can affect us is we can feel sad. Sad is our first symbol. So we're going to label sad with a 1. 1, 1, 1. I wrote 1 3 times. Now, one thing that might cause stress is change. So, the change of not going to school makes Megan a little stressed. That's okay. I can deal with my stress in an okay way. So I already used 1. Now I'm labeling all the times it shows change with a number 2. Let's see how many times I wrote 2. 2, 2, 2. I wrote it 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. One of the ways that you can deal with stress is by exercising. Okay? So here we see someone exercising, and that's going to be our number 3. And here it is again. 3. Okay. So our pattern here is 1, 2, 3. And then it repeats. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So every time after a 3 comes a 1. Now let's look. 1, 2, 3. Can you say it with me? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What comes after a 3? A 1. So we're going to circle 1. The pattern has to start again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? When you're done, hit submit. Now you did a great job because you did both patterns today and word problems. Wow, you are a hard worker. Good job.